everybody? What is up? What is up? How is everyone doing today, man? You already should know how it go. It's your boy B back with another video. Guys, so today we're going to actually be doing a deep dive into something that came across my desk. I didn't want to end the night without I want to, yo, I ain't even about to entertain it. Why are you? I ain't even gonna, okay. I'm not going to even entertain what I just read. All right, so back to what I was about to do. Guys, I wanted to make sure I came on here and I talked to you guys about something that I just got from the buyers, and it's just an update to the price list. I also wanted to talk to you guys about something new that I'm going to be doing, especially for the price list. Number one, if you don't know, joining and getting the community gives you the price list as well. And everybody that does indeed need a discount or want to get on a mentorship with me when it comes to phone flipping, I got you. The link in the bio in the YouTube should give you a link that gives you a discount. This is only up to a certain amount of people though. But again, I came across 2 people and they unfortunately are not in the States, so they need a little help. So I decided to go ahead and try to give out some discounts on that end. Now, when it comes to what we're going to be going over today, it's going to be mainly things other than iPhones. We're going to talk about the value. We're going to be talking about exactly how much these devices are worth. Okay, cool. My volume is cool. So we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about Google Pixels, Samsungs, and also going to be talking about gaming systems. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up this chat so I can see. Cool. So let's actually go ahead and look at the price list. So if you guys don't know, the price list is right here at wesply.com, right? Then you go over to learn price list. And then it's literally right here, unlock price list. And then it goes to the price list. The price list is $87. It includes 50 wholesale buyers, 1 price list, auction style. Therefore, if you want to sell a phone, you just send the device into that email. And once you do that, I'm just realizing I'm not even showing you my screen. Let me go full screen. Once you go ahead and you send your device, you're able to actually get buyers offering you money. All right. Now, it depends on what devices you have, right? Like if you are selling some iPhone 13s or 11s, you're not going to make a lot of money, especially not with wholesale buyers. That's more effective if you're selling them just to consumers. Same thing for like iPhone 12s, iPhone 13s, and sometimes 14s, depending on if they are locked or unlocked. All right. Now, we want to talk about more so the devices we don't really ever talk about. And that's going to be Apple Watches, MacBooks. Let's go over some iCloud lock, some iPad lock, some Samsung, some Google Pixel, and we can do some Apple accessories as well, okay? And then, of course, last gaming systems. Now, the reason I want to go over this is because if you're somebody out there that is looking to start buying stuff, if you have reselling on your bucket list and you want to start reselling, or maybe you are already reselling, it's important that you know and have the ability to buy multiple products, right? I'll tell you guys this. I didn't start making real money until I was able to buy more than just iPhones, right? Because me buying iPhones never ever, in my opinion, was going to ever get me where I wanted to go. I had to dibble and dabble into different things. Now, I did buy Apple Watches a few times, and I will say this about Apple Watches. Apple Watches are very, very dangerous, okay? So going in on it, guys, we can go and look literally right here, and we can type in Apple Watch, right? So Apple Watch will pop up terms, especially on OfferUp. If you don't know why I use OfferUp more than I use Facebook, well, Facebook is, in my opinion, littered with bots, okay? Now, we could easily go ahead and pull up Facebook. I'll try to pull it up on this end. But Facebook isn't going to be any different. And I feel in my area, personally, Facebook is not successful. I find a lot of people that end up saying, oh, hey, can you text me on this number and then we can go ahead and negotiate? No, bro, like, let's do the deal right now. Like, what's wrong with you, man? But it's like a lot of people are hurting, man. And I say this like in every live. Everybody hurting for bread, man. So these are Apple Watches, right? The problem that I have is I just don't like Facebook. I just don't. It's just too much BS. All right. So you always will see me go to OfferUp first, but this may be different in your area. You may like Facebook over OfferUp. I find that I make more money using OfferUp. Now, see, when we look at the price list, you'll probably see something very interesting. Look at the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Look at the Apple Watch Ultra 49mm, right? So sealed, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is $550. That's how much a buyer will pay, right? Starting out. So we said Apple Watch Ultra, right? Watch this. You'll find some. The problem is that they're usually the legit ones are going to be priced overly priced, okay? People will always overprice these Ultras because it's hard for them to determine what the value is for them because they feel like, oh my gosh, it's such a valuable, how much is it? It's such a valuable watch. Let's see, Apple Watch Ultra, how much? I wish you would just give me the price, bruh. All right, so it's $800, okay? So we already see that one, this buyer isn't even buying the third generation. They're only buying the Apple Watch 2, which I can already tell you the Apple Watch Ultra 3, I brought one already. It's around $650. It ain't nothing crazy, right? But $550 for an Apple Watch Ultra 2 is really good. Now, when I look at Apple Watches, and if you have the price list, this is what I want you to do, okay? I want you to only focus on sealed. Never focus on open. Never focus on A+. Never focus on B. Never focus on cracked. The reason you never want to focus on cracked is because there's so many. Look at all of these Apple Watches. There's so many. And the reason is because people that get Apple Watches get them because they want or feel like they need it. The problem is a lot of people realize, and I'm pretty sure you do too, Apple Watches are not as useful to some as they would think or would like. Is this a crack one? Right? So the problem, and I have a repair location, is Apple Watches are hard for me to repair. Now, I could pay a certain guy to do it because he knows how to do it, but it's hard for me personally to source screens and then to properly do it where it actually is going to have the right quality, right? And so I try to stay away from the cracked because even though I do repair devices or I have people to repair devices, this is hard, okay? Apple Watches are hard to repair. Similar to iPads, we'll talk about that in a second. I would only buy new Apple Watches. I would never buy a cracked one. I would never buy an open one. Never. Now, you may be like, well, why not even an open one? Well, look at the price drop, right? For Apple Watch Ultra 49mm, which is going to be on line 3, sealed $410, open $310. For the Apple Watch Ultra 2, sealed $550, open $470. Now, you might be like, well, that's the same thing as phones. Well, the difference is the risk, right? So if you buy phones that are open, well, that phone may be locked to a carrier. It may have a little battery issue, but you can still push that off and sell it, right? Well, an Apple Watch, if it has scuffs on it that maybe you didn't see at first, if it has a bad heart rate monitor reader, if it ends up being dysfunctional, has an iCloud lock, if it has a band that is discolored, it's so many different things. You want to make sure you're watching out, especially when you are buying Apple Watches. The Apple Watch that I would recommend to buy right now, if you are somebody that just wants to get out there and start buying and flipping, is going to be only Apple Watch Ultras. But the problem is, if you don't know how to negotiate, you're going to overpay. I don't spend over $350 for an actual watch. Yo, I'm having tongue twisters. For an Apple Watch Ultra. Now, I don't buy the Apple Watch Ultra 2, the 3. Now, I bought a 3 because somebody came into the store with one and they were desperate, right? And you're desperate, come to me, right? Like, I'll take it now. But As far as the Apple Watch S10, S9, S8, and even the SE, these are devices you don't want to buy. You don't want to buy. It's too much of a headache. Even if I did buy the Apple Watch S10 42mm GPS, right? This one, look at this. Their buyer is only going to pay starting $270. That's horrible. Look at this. How much? Let's see how much. So you mean to tell me this $400 watch, you're only going to pay me $270 starting out? I'm not doing that, bro. Because if I was somebody that was utilizing my money to flip and I don't have a buyer right next to me where I could just go ahead and cash out immediately, bro, one, I'm definitely not doing it. But two, it's going to be hard for me to actually resell this because, see, number one, I got to get the person down. And if I was to get this person down, I want you to look at the prices and I'm going to show you guys how you could tell when something's not worth buying. Ready? Look at all of these watches right here, okay? I don't know why my screen keeps lagging. Dang. Well, my viewing screen. I want to see what I'm doing now. Make sure y'all can see. I'm going to zoom in, okay? Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Watch this. I want you guys to look at these prices. On any price list, this is how you can tell if a device is worth selling. Look at how the Apple Watch S10, whether it's GPS, cellular, or even if it's the 46 meter, right? They're all close, right? So for the 46, it's 320. For the 46 GPS, 300. For the 42 cellular, 280, 270. For everything under, it's like 160. The S9 45 GPS is 200. But all of the prices are close together, right? There's no real separation. The only separation you have is that Apple Watch S9 45. So the reason I say this is because if I start to go out in the market and try to get these devices, I'm going to have a lot of pushback from people that sell phones and sell Apple Watches to buyers because the profits are razor thin. It's too close together. And you're going to see that a lot with things other than iPhones. See, iPhones have a really good resale value because a lot of people want them. But Apple Watches don't because there's a bunch of companies that give them away for free. All right, let's move on. I don't want to, y'all know I can get to talking. I don't want to push it too much, right? All right, so then we have the MacBooks. So now when it comes to these MacBooks, right? MacBooks, I said this in another live, MacBooks are extremely dangerous to flip, but also extremely profitable. Because if you flip the right MacBook, you're going to see 500 plus profits or somewhere in between 300, 500. I haven't got $1,000 profit yet. I usually buy my MacBooks off of people that have studios. Like recording studios, people that have, that artist that thought he was going to be an artist and he really thought he was going to make it big, but now he got to get a job because the money is running out, like that type of person. And those type of people are always hurting for bread because they're like, damn, my dream done failed. Last thing I need is this sale to fail. I don't need you to walk away, right? So I end up winning no matter what, right? So that is my way or my type of ideal target for the MacBooks. But look at the pricing. The pricing is kind of outrageous, okay? For a 2025 MacBook 14-inch M5, $1,210. That means that's how much the buyer will pay you. Now, let's be hypothetical, right? Let's say we wanted to go get one right now. Let's actually see how much these are going for on the market around me. I can already tell you, right? Because they're not going to put the right term. So they're probably just going to put this. Let's see. All right. So you got one person that's selling one for $2,000, right? And that's just about it. The reason I put this up was because even though the price is really good as far as what the buyer will pay, if you do find one, they're going to really try to tax you. And also, it's going to be hard to find newer MacBooks because the newer MacBooks are being used mostly from people. So think about it like this. A lot of the iPhones that we get come from scammers, right? But the problem is that with MacBooks, scammers don't buy MacBooks. Now, you have people that do Amazon refunds and people that do like Apple gift card scams and stuff like that. They'll do MacBooks, but they're far in between. And also they usually have a stable buyer. But like phone flippers and people that are actually like going into stores, using people's accounts, those type of people usually stick to phones because they're low cost. You gotta think about a MacBook, that costs money. So if you're gonna get it out of a store, even if you're getting it on somebody's account, you had to put up bread. I'm talking about the person that's getting it to sell to you. They have to actually put out money. So they're putting out a good $900 just to acquire this MacBook. So of course they're gonna want all of the profit they can get. Vice versa, somebody that is getting an iPhone 17 Pro Max is probably just paying taxes. So it's hard to put MacBooks on installments. Therefore, you'll see less and less MacBooks. And also, when you do find one, it's going to be a struggle because people don't want to negotiate when it comes to MacBooks because these are literally usually their MacBooks. These are not usually the same thing we see with phones where they're just flipping them. And now I'm telling you guys this just to give you this information as people that are looking to flip. This is something that is really useful to know. If you have a bunch of bread, let's say you got 10K, yeah, go ahead and flip MacBooks because that's going to literally double your 10K. But if you are not looking to, number one, have that high risk because there can always be an iCloud associated with it. There always could be something wrong with the display. There could be something wrong with the battery. These are two of the biggest things that people actually get other people with and finesse them with when they're buying MacBooks is they either know it's a bad battery, they either know it's a bad display. And both of them will hurt your pockets. I brought a MacBook before that had an iCloud on it, and I didn't even know. It was sitting in the back room in my store in a safe, had a customer that wanted to purchase it, brought it out. Customer's going to buy it for a certain amount that made me like $300. I was hyped. I'm like, bet, I've been sitting on this thing for a while. Why do you think pawn shops, call your local one, well, not right now because this is when pawn shops actually are thriving, but January, February, even through April, call your pawn shops around you and be like, yo, you got MacBooks? I guarantee you they do. People sell MacBooks all the time. The problem is you got to make sure that you do your work, man. You got to do your work, okay? So if I was going to buy MacBooks, it would always be the MacBooks that you see under $1,000. So like anywhere between the MacBook Air 13.6 inch, so the M3 models, I'll buy those. Anything under 500, I'll buy. I'm not buying anything that's like $1,000. Now, I do know people that do, but they're doing it scamming. They're doing it by getting it from people that aren't really paying a bunch of money. Like, you can get a scammer to sell you a MacBook. They'll take like 500 to 6. You'll make 12. But you got to be plugged in with this phone flipping stuff for a while to ask those discovery questions for people to trust you enough to be like, yo, yeah, I take this from Amazon or I take these from UPS. I had a guy, and I told him, I was like, yo, I can't believe you're doing this. He would come in every day. He would sell me phones, MacBooks, iPads. And I'm like, yo, bro. I'm like, how? Because I ask questions. I don't know about y'all, but I ask questions. I'm cool. So I'll be chatting. I'll be chatting. Like, yo, bro, how you getting all these things, man? How you getting this MacBook that costs $2,000, but you only making me pay you $400? He like, man, I'm about to quit Amazon. No, it was UPS. I'm about to quit UPS. He like, so I'm just taking packages. Yeah, part of me felt bad, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, but part of me was like, damn, Brandon, why did you ask? Like, I'm being honest, right? But what ends up happening, right, is you cashing them out, this happens every time. You cashing these people out, they'll stop coming to you because they end up getting arrested or they end up getting in trouble. And you're not really getting in trouble. And I told you guys on another live, the only way you can get in trouble really phone flipping is if you're buying stolen devices like iCloud lock, which we'll talk about in a second, okay? Including the iPads and all of that as well, all right? So it's really important, guys, for you to know, like when it comes to these MacBooks, I would only deal with like MacBooks in the M3 chip era and below, okay? The M4 is a little bit too shaky, man. All right. Now, I was trying to write down, because remember, I average everything out, divided by 50, because we use 50 buyers. Look at how horrible the iPad prices are. Look at how horrible they are. Because people think that MacBooks are worth money, but they're not. I said MacBooks, iPads, excuse me. See, the thing about iPads is that people think, like, this is a good ass listing right here, if this is real. Wait, iPad A16. Well, this is only iCloud lock, but we could look on the iPads, but that's not this video. Regardless, iPads ain't worth that much money. But when it comes to locked, and now let's make this clear. What do I mean by locked? Not carrier locked, but I'm talking about literally iCloud locked, where you can't log in. They're not worth much. But here's where you win. If you see, because you could type in like this, iPad, iCloud, locked. Now, I do, and I don't advise, I do have people, students that go on eBay and buy locked ones. They go on all these different platforms and they buy locked devices and then they sell them to the buyers. I don't recommend you doing it because some of them you get got, right? Like they lie about the, they lie about the what? The grade, the way it looks, the device. Yo, what the heck? I know I'm tired. They lie about the cosmetics of the device, okay? And you want to make sure that if you're buying an iPad, this is rule number 1 for all wholesale buyers. Buy iPads that are in the box. I do not buy iPads like this, ever. It's too risky. Have you guys ever fixed an iPad? I want you to go look up on YouTube how to fix an iPad. Fixing an iPad is one of the most annoying, tedious, dangerous things ever. You can't just replace the screen. You gotta crack the whole screen. You have to heat the screen up. You gotta take one of these, right? I'll show you. This is why I hate iPads. I hate iPad sales, y'all. Like, as far as like me repairing, you gotta take the iPad, all right? This is repair 101, okay? It's a heat gun, all right? You gotta take it. You literally gotta go and heat up the whole screen. Then you gotta crack it section by section and peel it up, bro. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, I'm telling you this because that's why the prices are so low even when it's iCloud locked. So what you'll see is if you get an iPad, if you get an iPad 13-inch 7th gen, you can get paid $270. That's tough. That's tough. That's a good amount. The problem though, okay, let's talk about it. The problem though is that when it comes to the iPad 7th gen, it's probably going to be really hard for you to find. Okay, hold on, let's see. Let's look it up. Everything I'm saying, I want to look up because I want to set you guys up for success so you can go out and do it on your own, right? If you're only buying phones, you're going to fail. I'm telling you right now. That's why it's always good to have multiple buyers, because multiple buyers buy different things. So, yeah, it don't seem like we have any here. Okay. This is in a box. This is used 5 months ago. Yeah, it's going to be hard, especially, we just want an iCloud lock one. We don't even need a brand new one. We don't need to use one. You can buy iCloud lock with this price list. Now, let's talk about Samsung, because this is something I really want to talk about, okay? Now, if you're somebody out there that does use Samsung, you're going to be upset. This is not me. I just want to make this very clear before anybody. And listen, I don't set the prices, okay? Bro, I had this guy from Africa, and he used to sell me folds maybe twice a week, four at a time, haggle me on the price every time. The Z Fold 7. Okay. This person wants $989. This person wants $14.99. This person wants $15.99. $1,500. This person wants $1,300. This person wants $19. Y'all gotta excuse me. I've been literally up all day. So since like 4 a.m. Just don't mind me, okay? But let's see something. So Z Fold 7. How much? $2,000. And you mean a buyer is only offering me $870? Not $1,500. Not 15. Not even a measly 13. The buyer won't even go over 1,000 for these goddamn phones. Now why? Well, the problem with Samsung is not that it's a bad phone, especially when it comes to rebuying, flipping, and selling to wholesale buyers. The issue is that there are too many that are accessible to people in other countries. So people always say, well, why can't I buy Samsung? Why shouldn't I buy Samsung? It's not that you shouldn't buy Samsung, bro. Let me break it down for you. Like this video for me, y'all. Please, please like the video. What it is that you have the folds, you have the S25s, 24s in all these different countries, guys. Thank you for the like. In all these different countries, so it makes it saturated. They don't need this. Let me break this all down. All of this stuff on these price lists are buyers that can't get them in their country. They are selling it in their country for a heightened price. But when Samsung is so globally known and used by everybody, who don't got a Samsung that don't got an iPhone? You know what I mean? Samsung is more affordable when it comes to like low grade devices. This is a issue. And I will tell you guys this, I rarely ever buy a Samsung. And when I have brought Samsung, about 85% of the time I was stuck, struggling, trying to figure out how I was going to get it out. Because if my buyer doesn't buy it, I'm screwed. I can't even sell it to a consumer because I would have to sell it for too high. Now, again, you guys can buy at your own risk, but even the S25 Ultra, bruh. How much is the S25 Ultra? S25 Ultra. Oh my. That's $1,200. I'm about to, what the, 520? Bruh. Yeah, there's no reason to sell Samsung. I wouldn't sell Samsung if my life depended on it. That is crazy. That is insane, bruh. But again, if you had the prices, you could look at these prices, but now you see why people don't sell Samsung. But I do want to talk about Pixel. I don't know much when it comes to buying Pixels, guys. I would never buy a Pixel a day in my life. I have people telling me they got Pixels. You want to know what I say? I'm cool. I'm good. There ain't no way in hell I'm buying a Pixel. Now, maybe I need to change my mind. But Pixels are they're too new for me. Now, I'm unk status. I'm old. I keep saying that, man. I'm old. You feel me? So, like, when it comes to Pixels, I'm just not there with it. Like, I don't see how much does it cost? Like answer my, where AI when I need it? All right, so we talking about $899, right? This buyer got to be paying $500, right? Okay, $470. So that's not bad. That's not bad, right? There is no way. The new Pixel phones is that cheap? How much? No way. Yeah, nah, okay, so it's $1,000. Wait, what? And they're paying $370. Wait, maybe people not asking that much. Maybe people not asking that much, right? Right? Let's go to Facebook, because people not asking that much. Oh, I don't even see no 10, bro. I see one. But this is a store. Damn, Gina. What's the 9? 37. Wait, what? Somebody explain that. How the freak is the Pixel 10 being brought for the same price as the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel Fold? Wait, how much is the Pixel Fold? Wait. Ain't the Pixel Fold the most expensive one? $1,500. Wow, but they only will buy it for $370. Yeah, we're cooked. Pixel's cooked. All right. Now, here we go with things I don't really talk about, okay? And if you're still here, maybe I should do a video on this, but because it is really in depth. You can sell AirPods to buyers, like real ones. Don't send me no fake ones. I know what the fake ones look like, feel like, sound like, all that. Don't do that to me, right? Don't send none of my buyers fake ones. We've had people do it, and it doesn't work out well. Don't do it. You'll be banned from the price list. But we do. And I usually keep this part of the price list very private, because this gives you power, right? So you can get the Apple Vision Pro. Now, remember when I said that a lot of scammers go to Apple, they use Apple gift cards and stuff? Well, they use that on this every time. And I get these probably twice a week. What happens is they cost like $3,600, right? But they're literally paying it on a credit card. They're not really putting no money down. They sell it to us. We cash them out $2,500. I don't cash out $2,500. I usually cash out around $23. And then I take I take me a good profit, okay? That's in store, right? But you could take a look at this, zoom in on your screen, and you can see how much buyers are paying for a bunch of this stuff. We're talking about Magic Keyboards. We're talking about AirPod Gen 2, Gen 2 Wireless, Lightning, AirPod 4, Pro, MagSafe, and the AirPod Maxes, yes. Which, again, the AirPods Max, I don't sell to buyers at all. I'd rather just sell them to people on, like, regular social media. Now, last but not least, game systems. This is the most horrific pricing I've ever seen. Now, the reason I'm going over this pricing is because go to that phone buyer that you used to watch, right? Like, if we go to YouTube right now, okay, and we type in phone flipping, okay? We type in phone flipping. Ooh. Yeah, Paul George not washed. All right, so let's just, because I don't want to see all of these weird ass people. I want to see people that's relevant. Me, thank you. But no, so we got this person. Never seen him before. Never seen this person before. Never seen this person before. Whoa, I've seen him recently. Never seen this person before. Now I've seen him. He's been on for a while. He's a GOAT. But my point is, right? I have not really seen a lot of the same phone flipping people. Now, a lot of phone flippers are disappearing. And they're starting to sell other things like medical pens and crap, right? A lot of phone flippers stop phone flipping because they don't really phone flip. A lot of them, they credit ran out, right? And I don't want to pinpoint too many people, but a lot of these people don't really flip phones. Okay, a lot of them don't really flip phones, okay? A lot of them, it was just a cash grab to create content to try and make it seem like they flip phones. And the reason I'm telling you that is because a lot of them, what they end up doing is going to other things because they don't actually get phones. It's not easy just to get phones on a consistent basis because you got to realize it's not about you. When you want to become a phone flipper that's successful, you have to learn how to outsource. Have other people in your family getting phones. Shit, I got my kids going to school asking people for phones. It's all about utilizing the people around you to make sure it's more outreach. But yeah, I'm not even like the Nintendo Switch Lite, $20 new. I looked at the buyer and I said, do you think people really are gonna sell this for $20? Bro, why would you buy this for $20? Right? This is what I'm asking. You wanna know what he told me? You wanna know what he told me? How much? You wanna know what he told me? He told me, we buy these, well, they are cheap. He told me, we buy these for $20 because we get them free. How you get them for free? Bro, overseas, these are cheaper. They're more accessible. That's why they don't hold the weight that they hold for us around here in the States. All right? That's important for you guys to know. Okay? And maybe I'll go in on it more a little later, but again, it's I just wanted to give you guys this. Now, if you want to get the price list, of course, go to wesply.com, go to learn, go to price list, and unlock price list. Everybody that gets into the price list will have access to the community. All you got to do is literally buy it. If anything is needed, reach out to me. You can go literally right here and hit that, and we could talk. Again, it's easy. This phone flipping shit is easy, but it's not all about just flipping phones. It's also about making sure that you are taking advantage of every type of device, if that makes sense. Phones, tablets, Apple Watches. Now, when it comes to game systems, you can utilize that to your advantage and not overpay. See, not every time when you see a price or a device on a price list do you have to sell it to a buyer. Sometimes you can use it to know the market value, hold that value, and not overextend your own hand. All right, guys. Woo! Second live of the day, man. But I definitely wanted to come live for you guys to get these updates because I actually did just get some of these numbers. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm about to go on Twitch right now. If you guys don't know, definitely check out my Twitch. All right, check out my Twitch. It's literally Hustler Taught Me on my Twitch. I've been doing it, but I'm gonna keep going. I'll be gaming on here and stuff like that. I'm gonna start doing more and more just chill stuff on here. But again, this is where I'm gonna be going when it's not like educational stuff and stuff for YouTube. But I'm usually on here until like 12. So if you have any questions, you can always reach me at Hustler Taught Me on Twitch. And we can chat there too. I'm a little bit more open there as well. I'm tired. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, man. I really, 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 really appreciate it, man. And I hope all of you guys continue to have a good day and most importantly, profit, all right? So with that being said, guys, we out. Peace.